All right, so I was over in Ghost Chat earlier today, and this is a question he asked and my answer to it. You can check out the whole thing over on Ghost Tactical's channel.
Gee, I want to bring you in as I got a question for you, and this is something that you've been fighting a good fight for a lot longer than most of us, as far as uh, how to fight the other side in these debates, quote unquote. They're not necessarily debates anymore because very few of them that they use are facts, and it's hard to debate someone that's using emotion instead of facts and won't listen to facts. There's something that I can personally do, or any of us can do, when you're having a discussion with someone that refuses to listen to facts.
So I'm not been fighting any longer than anybody else, right? So was it better for the British to stand in a big ass line and all do the same thing, or was it better for us to do whatever our strengths were? And that's what we need to do, right? So they're pretty much standing there like dumbass British coming at us with moms demand this, or students are yelling about whatever. So I don't think we need to do anything as far as or anything in lockstep as far as what works and what don't. Nobody ever said. I've never heard anybody says throw the facts at them. And the hell does that work for anything ever? Maybe for studying for a test. But no, everybody's got to figure out how to communicate, and you can either do that, or if you'd like to just argue with people, you'll just run around arguing with people forever. But everybody grows, right? You mean, hell, everybody has to start somewhere, learn, experience, and get better. Have conversations like this, right? Take from them and go on. So that's the answer to your question. That everybody's got to do their own fight and keep getting better every single day of their own. Get better for themselves every single day. Don't judge yourself against what somebody else is doing. Was that last conversation you had effective? And if not, have a better conversation tomorrow. So back to, can I take a minute? Back to
Yeah,
the,
go for it. What do you do? Go for it.
I found a couple of things. I didn't research this any more than what it's taken while you guys were talking to search on Google. This was a pretty neat site. I linked it on Gun Channels. It shows individual shooters throughout the history since 1891 to today. So there's hardly any urgency here. It's a very consistent amount of crazy people pick up whatever's handy and do crazy ass shit. A lot of these are at schools, and a lot of them are heinous, horrible atrocities. This is from 1976 until 2014. I'd like to show you, have anybody show me where there's anything growing there other than perhaps the number of victims. The victims are on top, but the number of incidents is about the same. So this is firearms again. This doesn't, and let's not forget, this is taking hand-picking firearms. If they're going to hand-pick 3 years that are perfect, why wouldn't they pick the thing that they want to use that's perfect? If they're not going to compare this to school buses and fires and horrible other things that people do, then we don't know that this is any more or less. It's certainly not more than, I mean, the numbers involved here are certainly not more than accidents in hospitals, literally just the accidents in hospitals. When we look at this playing video games or society or bringing up kids or mental health, that's all a diversion. That's all ambush to get us to talk about something that has no consequence, to talk about things that require more big state, that require federal answers. That's bullshit. Let's look at it this way. If this is USA Today, I'm assuming a fairly middle of the road or left leaning. I don't think USA Today is right leaning, are they? Left leaning our thing that says the what is this, killings with mass killings since 2016. They tend to happen on the we call them the coasts, right? Except if you flip over to this data, it tends, these are gun murders per 100,000. It tends to happen in the South and maybe in the states with more population. So if we're going to just start randomly trying to figure out what a few random individuals, let's go take a math class and figure out how to actually get real projections out of stuff, how to take data and use it, because the little pieces of data that they're giving us are handpicked to have us run around feudal. Like you said, they're trying to pull at the heartstrings with kids and stuff right now. So you look at all that and you go, oh, we have a lot of murders and shit. Here's the whole world. Here's the whole world's murder rate, and there's us. We're not white or nothing, but we're also free, right? Here's the whole world. We're not these countries, and look at this one, it has one of the largest international borders with us. And you know what I'm saying? They're going to ignore all of that. They're ignoring all of that, and they're going to concentrate on ours. So if we look at the murder rate, like, what was it? The Snowy Leaf, somebody was saying, look at our murder rate over time. Here's our murder rate over time. Before you had actual real archive data, you know, prehistory kind of, you kind of project that it was lawless times, there was no consequences for action, blah, blah, blah. we get into the industrialization or whatever. Might be interesting for someone to figure out what happened here, but this was probably during the war, so, you know, wartime, people weren't as interested in coming home and slaughtering each other. You have the assassinations and the turbulence in the 60s and whatnot. And then look at this. Here's the epidemic that we're dealing with today. Here's our epidemic. It looks to me like you could have you could say that we live in one of the most peaceful times in this country's history. And if you extrapolate that out to the world, we're living in one of the most peaceful places on the freaking planet Earth. And they're going to suggest that we live in an epidemic, and that epidemic has to do with shooters, and those shooters are going after your schools. It says right here on USA Today that 57% of these mass killers going after their family members. They were people that they knew. So maybe don't just be a dick out there and don't worry about video games or anything else, and pay attention to the real numbers. We're being led into this freaking ambush.
All right, that's my response to that one. I think we all have our own individual creative ways of communicating with the antis to move our position, make it more clear. And I'm curious to see what kind of comments people have. Leave them here. If you want to watch the whole show, head over to Ghost Tactical. We'll have a link to it, and I'll try to put some links to some of the stuff I referenced there. It'll all be over on Gun Channels and on Minuteman University. Thanks for watching.